You know how when a woman doesn't want to rock with you, but the guy pursues her? Oh, you gonna give him. We keep pursuing. At my age, from what I see, the universe is protecting you, but you don't see it. And you keep chasing this person that the universe don't want you with. Then you wind up having a baby. You start having some of the most chaotic things in your life happen. Pain, confusion.
Yes.
Because you don't understand frequency. See, when you get older, you know how to read it like reading music. And when you see that the woman is not interested, don't be mad. It's that the universe sees something you don't see.
Yes.
And they're protecting you.
I gotta admit, fam, this has gotta be probably one of the realest videos that I've ever seen and or heard in my life. Shout out to the big homie TK Kirkland, and of course, the YouTube channel that brought this particular content to us, right? I don't know about y'all, man, but I often think that God is, like, when he said it, it makes sense. God is probably trying to protect us when he doesn't give us the women that we want, right? When we don't get the one that we want, there's probably a legitimate reason why we're not getting that. Because of the ramifications and what could potentially be. Now, he was talking about it from the perspective of being bad baby mamas, or you get into this and you can't stand her once you get her and all that shit. But it leads into a broader conversation that I want to talk about with you guys real quick. Are men in the United States too included, but it's more so abroad because, you know, I kind of service the travel community a little bit in my spare time. But are we chasing the wrong women abroad? Again, it could, you know, be the same question you ask yourself in the United States, but are men genuinely chasing the wrong women abroad? And I say that because you got a lot of guys who bash and shame and talk about how women ain't shit and this, that, and the other. We need to live, you know, the red pill lifestyle, fuck all these bitches, all that shit, right? Think about it. Think about it. You hear it from a lot of guys, right? It doesn't matter if it's coming from huge podcasters or your everyday normal YouTube creator. Is it the fact that you're chasing the wrong type of women? Or, to an extent, I will say this because I feel as though it's relevant. A lot of people may not take it into consideration, but I take it into consideration. Could it be that you're just born in the wrong generation? As in, you're born in this modern, or you're born in an era and you've grown up in a modern era wherein there are certain things that have become okay for certain young ladies to do, and it's kind of led down a bad dating path, right? It could be that as well, but are you also choosing wrong? When we talk about equal accountability, I'm one of those types of guys as well. Again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm holier than thou, that I'm perfect and my relationship is perfect. I'm not going to be that guy. But what I will be is the guy that wants you to think about, are you chasing the wrong types of women? How many times can a woman tell you no before you just move the fuck on? Think about that. How many times can a woman tell you no? I ain't interested. Nah, we cool. Nah, you just like my homeboy, you like my bro. How many times can she friend zone you before you say, okay, man, let me go to somebody else, right? How many times can you get friend zoned before you like, maybe this ain't it, right? And it's crazy because there's a lot of guys who have this, I don't want to call it aggressive because that's really the wrong word to use in this situation, but you have this mentality wherein you refuse to give up. And when you refuse to give up and you actually get it and you realize it wasn't what you wanted in the beginning, it's almost like when you chase something and then you get it and you no longer want it anymore once you got it. It's the thrill of the chase. Maybe it was the fact that she kept saying no to your ass, and then by the time she said yes, now you really don't want it, or it wasn't what you thought it would be, right? So now you realize all the time you wasted. You realize all the energy you wasted. You realize that this wasn't really what you wanted in the first place. And again, going back to the video, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably God or some higher being, whatever you choose to believe in, protecting you from being with the wrong people. And this goes for women too. Let's keep it real. It's very rare that I see women chasing guys. That's why I'm kind of prefacing this by more so from the guy perspective, because sometimes women chase, but most of the time you see guys fucking refusing to give up, right? And for the most part, girls don't ask more than once, man. Usually a guy's willing to concede. Yo, if you gonna let me hit that, hey, it is what it is. But, you know, like I said, man, sometimes it's just God protecting you from yourself. And I want y'all to keep that in mind, especially for my younger guys. I mean, I'm an older dude. I'm an older dude, man. You know, I've settled down, man. And I already said I do, and I'm pretty cool, and I'm satisfied with my situation. But deep down inside, me and her were together for many years before I decided to marry her, right? And it wasn't so much because I was still determining whether she was the right type of woman for me. I already knew that, right? There were a few things that I recognized earlier on in life. The superficial thing that I recognized about myself that I liked in my wife, and I say this all the time, I say it tongue-in-cheek, but I say it because it's real to me, right? I said, if I can roll over every morning and look at this woman in the face, and she doesn't scare the shit out of me in her rawest form, she got potential, right? If she's not leaving half her face on my pillows, if she's not packing on the makeup, or she got wigs and shit, and you know, and if I can see you in your rawest form, your most vulnerable aspect of life, whatever's going on in your life, I can see you in your most vulnerable moments, and I can accept that part about you, you might be onto something, right? That means no makeup, hair ain't done, none of that shit, breath smell like ass, because you ain't brushed your teeth, right? If I can accept you in that moment, then you might be somebody I could fuck with, all right? And again, that was the superficial. And then, of course, there's a couple other things that, you know, being in a relationship for as many years as we were, we kind of figured that out about each other, you know, living together for a period of time, knowing what it's like to live with each other physically before we actually decided to get married. I owe that one to my pops. But, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it that made me say, you know what? I can see myself locking down this particular young lady. I can see this being the one that if I'm gonna move forward and deal with. And there have been others now that I felt, you know, had potential. A lot of them had potential. But low key, man, this just happened to be the one that I felt the closest with. But again, that's just me. But going back to the conversation at hand, ladies and gentlemen, are you chasing the wrong women abroad? Are you genuinely chasing the wrong women abroad, which has led you to fucking with the wrong girls, which have led you to bad relationships, toxic relationships, or led you down a path where you can't stand women at all, and you only view women, and this is crazy to me, but you only view women as sexual creatures or for women you can lay down in bed. That's all women are good for in your mind. I kind of feel like you lost all the good points, right? It could be, again, you were born in the wrong generation, and it just seems the young ladies that you have access to just ain't it. Or it could be potentially that you're chasing the wrong women, right? Now, I will say this before I end. Just because she's educated, you know, just because she has degrees, or just because she does things, or, you know, that it does put her, in my opinion, in a pretty decent light, but that don't mean she ain't a bitch, right? That don't mean that she ain't got issues and problems. You know, it just says an educated Filipina is definitely what I would go for, right? And I do believe that the majority of the educated ones really don't have time for the bullshit or the fuckery and being all this toxic and shit, because A, you know, they not about to waste their parents' money or scholarship money on no nonsense because I went to school, somebody paid for me to do this, now I gotta get to work and I gotta get to business. So a lot of them have that mentality. So chances are they're pretty much not willing to be a part of bullshit or be toxic and things like that, the majority of them. Which is why I do believe that particular echelon are working women to an extent. You know, they're pretty much not necessarily the ones that you're likely to deal with toxicity from. I'm not saying that you won't. I'm just saying that it's less likely because they don't really have time for the bullshit, depending on the type of young lady you want, the type of lady that you're looking for. Again, meet them online. 50-50 chance, right? She could be out there digging on a whole bunch of other foreigners, or on that rare little chance, she might actually be in it to win it. She might actually be in it because she really wants to find her a foreign Jermaine, and she felt like this is the way for her to find her foreign Jermaine, right? But I want you to marinate on that one. Are you chasing the wrong type of women? All right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, man. It's been a good time, man. Y'all take care, man. Y'all stay blessed. Doc is out. Peace.